Getting drunk and nearly drowning in a canal. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some recent r/TodayIFuckedUp stories posted on Reddit. Getting drunk and nearly drowning in a canal. So this happened a few days ago, but I'm sharing because I'm trying to process the whole situation and also maybe encourage people not to drink near water. So it started off as just an ordinary band practice at uni. Some tins were brought and we had a productive couple of hours. After the practice we decided to carry on drinking. As we are in the UK, all the pubs are shut at the moment, so we decided to go to the docks and relive our teen years. On the way, we stopped off at the shop and bought a bottle of vodka before proceeding to decant it into bottles mixed with Diet Coke. We spent a few hours just drinking and listening to music, and I guess I didn't realize how much we drank. Before too long, I needed to relieve myself, so I headed off to a discreet location. Pissing in public as a woman is quite difficult. On my way back to where we were sitting, I can't actually remember this, tripped and flipped backwards into the water. I think I went into shock because I literally just started floating down the canal. Luckily, one of the two guys I was with heard my giant splash, the other one didn't even notice. Being the absolute hero that he is, he climbed down the ladder and grabbed me, pulling me from the water. Now I was wearing his huge coat, so this must have added some serious weight to my already sizable 120 pounds. I literally could not pull myself out, so he hauled me up into dry land, and I literally flopped out on top of him, gasping for air. I lost a shoe in the process, but was otherwise unharmed, minus a swollen ankle and many scratches. He gave me all the coats we had and then carried me home in his arms like a baby because I could barely walk. And when he couldn't carry me any further, he gave me his shoe. Honestly, I am so grateful because I would literally be dead without him. I'm also pretty shook because I could be dead right now. Life is short and precious, seize the moment and all that. Don't drink near water, kids. Thinking that my cat escaped into the Kentucky woods next to a highway. I recently closed my lease in Florida to move back into my dad's house, in Chicago. I'm working from home, don't need to be paying rent in FL if I can just live with family instead. So, I pack my shit up, store the rest in a storage unit, close my lease, and hit the road. My cat, Randall Flagg, accompanied me in the car as we drove through Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and then Kentucky. I was going about 105 miles per hour in a 70 miles per hour zone when the KY state trooper pulled me over. I was making incredible time moving that quickly, but obviously the risk is being pulled over. Or death. Anyway, state trooper comes to the passenger side of my car to stay away from highway speed traffic. My car was already off, so my window did not roll down when I tried that. Instead, he opened the door. During the discussion, we actually addressed the fact that my cat Randall could escape, and I asked if I could step out and keep the car sealed. That didn't end up happening. After the traffic stop, maybe about a minute of driving later, I realize Randall is not in the car anymore. Bolt of absolute panic. I pull over, again. This time without a state trooper behind me. I frantically shout for him inside the car. Check the footboxes, seats, his little nooks, nothing. My mind racing, I leave the car on the side of the highway, and begin running back south to where I was pulled over. I reach the area, completely spent. Voice is totally thrashed from shouting over the sound of the highway for Randall. The woman who lives next to the highway, where I was pulled over, hasn't seen him. I have burrs all over my shoes and shorts from tromping through the Kentucky woods and fields next to the highway. I call the non-emergency number, my vet, my mom. Dad. 45 minutes of shouting and walking along the highway. Serious emotional distress. My boy, my best bud is lost in these fucking woods somewhere. I see a state trooper nearby, he's very helpful and actually drives me back around to the area I lost Randall to keep looking, and gets the officer who pulled me over to come back also. No luck. I interact with more nice families in the area, leaving my number with them. Randall Flagg is hiding somewhere out there and he is too scared to come out. Or, God forbid, he was hit. Can't think about that right now. The officers help me relax, take me back to my car back north up the highway. A detective with the troopers helps me look around the car again, just in case. No Randall. My car is now dead. When I try to start it, BC, the hazards were on too long. Great. I have some jumper cables stuffed inside somewhere, but it's full of my shit as I'm moving, so I have to start pulling things out. The trooper with me didn't have cables, somehow, so I'm pulling bags out to access the area where the cables are, when I see motherfucking Randall Flagg's fuzzy black ass inside a half-full garbage bag that had a lot of my clothes and towels in it. He's totally asleep, peaceful as a fat baby. I apologize to the officers profusely, but they are completely professional about it, just glad that he's been found. They help me jump my car, and I get rolling again. Stayed much closer to the speed limit after that. Randall Flagg and I safely made it to Chicago the next day. He's extremely comfortable here at my dad's. Splashing good quality wine all over my kitchen. This happened about a couple of weeks ago. I was planning a very fancy dinner for two at my place, and I obtained a nice bottle of wine to go along with the food. The wine was a limited edition local red wine and was kept unopened for about 5 years. Anyway, as I was setting everything up before my guest arrived, I realized the bottle was with a cork and not with a cap, and I didn't have a corkscrew at the time. I recently moved out of my parents' place and I had forgotten my corkscrew there. So, I decided to try and open the bottle beforehand, as I thought I would look stupid trying and failing to open it while we were eating. I googled how to open a wine bottle without a corkscrew, but everything failed. I tried doing it with a shoe, a screwdriver, drill bits, a knife, but all of that just ruined the cork and made it all destroyed at the top. My friend was helping me, and after many tries of getting the cork out, we realized we would have to try and push it in. We got a long wooden spoon and got into position. My friend was holding the bottle in place with a towel, and I took the end of the spoon and basically stabbed the cork into the bottle. However, what we failed to realize was that because the wine was old, it had built up a lot of pressure inside of it. So, as I pushed the cork in, wine sprayed everywhere in my kitchen. Wine was on my glasses, my friend's blouse, the floor, the countertop, the oven, and most unfortunately on the wall next to my kitchen. The wine was red, so it looked like we had just killed something, and blood was everywhere. At first we started laughing and cleaning ourselves and our immediate environment when I realized the wall was uncleanable. I tried using wet towels, wet wipes, bleach, a wet sponge, and other methods, but nothing really worked. Regardless, more of the wall paint than the stains got removed in the end, and now my wall looks all weird with different paint colors and textures from all the cleaning. It's a bit annoying given that the walls are recently painted, but at least I got some free modern art in my kitchen. On another note, the wine was really good. Become a third wheel on a motorcycle trip. I love riding motorcycle, and once a month I will do a short trip, 1 to 2 days, usually weekend. And I have this one friend who also into motorcycle, and we sometime go together. Usually we will pick where to go and then book a hotel near our destination to rest. We always share one room together to save cost. This time was no difference. He asked me, "Hey, I plan to go to this place X, you wanna join?" I agree immediately, and I thought everything will be normal just like other trips, so I call this hotel and book a room with 2 beds. Next morning I go to our meeting point and I saw my friend already wait there with his girlfriend. And at this moment I knew, I fucked up. To be clear, I know he has a girlfriend, but I only know her name because she always busy with her work and she never hang out with us. Not that I have anything against her on this trip, but as soon as I saw her I knew I will become a third wheel in this trip, and boy, I wish I was wrong. The writing part was easy and nothing happened. We arrived at the hotel to check in, and this is where the third wheel feeling kick in. First question is, where is she gonna sleep? She can't stay with me and my friend in the room I booked. So I asked the receptionist, are there any room available, and there are only one room with single bed, so we booked that room for her. Now another question is, where will my friend sleep? Well, since his girlfriend come along, he can't just leave her to sleep with another dude, duh. So here I am with 2 beds all for myself like a complete idiot. After check-in we go sightseeing on foot for about 3 hours, and things keep getting worse. Why, they saw something cool? Well, just ask the guy who walks slowly behind them like a creep to take a picture for them. Oh, what that? She has to hold her jacket and it will ruining the picture? How about you give it to that same guy to hold your jacket and take a picture for you? And bet he will hold our water too. Worst trip of my life. I missed my entire graduation ceremony and got my diploma taken by a doppelganger. So this year is obviously very terrible for university graduates. The virus forced companies shut, which means several of my classmates are unable to finish their research papers and are forced to abandon their thesis for next year. I was the lucky few who managed to finish my papers on time to graduate this year. But I guess that's where my luck ran dry. It started during the Zoom meeting where the uni discussed our graduation date and procedures. We are supposed to head to the university building 15 minutes before our schedule, take our diploma, get our picture taken and then go back to the dorms. During the meeting, the graduation date was estimated to be Monday 23rd November. This is where I fucked up. I thought the estimated date is the actual graduation date and I did not read the fine print on the email they sent a few days later. So this morning I was laying on my bed watching a movie when my friend suddenly chat me up with a huge congrats on your graduation. Confused, I asked her what she meant. She showed me a video of my name being called and someone who looks like me, or very similar to me if they put a mask and gloves on, went to pick up my diploma. I thought it was a prank and told her it's impossible since I'm still at home. She got confused and sent me the actual graduation Zoom link. That is when my face dropped and my heart sank to the bottom. I just missed my university graduation. Maybe even my only graduation in my entire life. One of my most important day in my life just slipped past my hands. I'm still depressed about it and tried contacting the university admins to ask about the diploma. Best case scenario is that they sent the doppelganger and still have my diploma. Worst case is someone pretended to be me and took my diploma. Anyway, I'm gonna sulk in bed for an entire day now. Hallucinating and upsetting the neighbors. This was about 8 hours ago and I'm still disturbed. I sometimes get sleep-wake hallucinations that can be quite vivid but usually disappear quite quickly. They normally happen when I'm sleeping on my back and I'm having trouble breathing, probably oxygen deprivation to the brain or something. Normally when I'm active sleeping like that I don't make much noise because even when I'm trying to speak, I don't have the breath. I just make faintly vocalized hissing noises that my boyfriend assures me makes it sound like I'm possessed but they're quiet enough that they only bother him. Last night was something entirely different. There I was, having a perfectly normal dream about being hunted through an abandoned mansion by a serial killer, and it comes to a point that I'm lying hidden on the floor in a dark room and the serial killer is standing next to me. I get it into my head that the only way I'm going to get out of this and make it to the one door in the room is to scare the living bejesus out of him and run while he's panicking. So I wait until he's looming over me and scream boo. At the top of my voice. Because fuck my subconscious. In the seconds that follow, I wake myself up with the yelling and faintly hear someone in the flat downstairs, having something that sounds like a heart attack and then angry shouting directed at me. But more importantly than that, the killer is still there. I'm aware I'm awake and so I wave my hand through him, expecting him to disappear as these hallucinations do usually when I try to interact with them. But he didn't. The more I wave my hands, the more solid he gets until in the faint light from my charging phone I can actually see the texture of the fabric on his jeans. At this point I'm panicking and saying what the fuck over and over like a mantra, flailing madly at the hallucination when I hear the upstairs neighbors start to stir and then, to top it all off, I'm in such a state I fall out of bed with a sound like someone dropped an elephant from an airplane. I am not a small lady. He still didn't disappear so I got up and went to make a cup of tea and had a very sleepless night trying to ignore the grumbles of my neighbors. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.